Well, in this video, I'm going to be unboxing a power station, and I'm going to be doing some woodworking. The devil, you say? Yes, Wild Bill is going to be woodworking. Wood. Oh, anyway, the metal worker is going to be doing some cabinet making, believe it or not. So stay tuned. It should be somewhat interesting, possibly entertaining. I don't know. But anyhow, yeah, the sawdust is going to fly, but there is some redemption. I am going to be doing some welding, a little bit of, well, drilling, machining into stainless, welding stainless and drilling stainless. Woo! I've never welded stainless before, and it's bloody easy. Aluminum can be a real bear to weld. Of course, there's small welds, so anyway. But that's what's going to happen in this video. I'm just kind of interrupting the other one where I'm building the brackets for the awning. Just something different, some woodworking, get those, woodworking is very agricultural and really not technical. Metalworking, technical. You're talking thousandths of an inch most of the time. Anyway, you know what my preference is. Big time. But if I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it right. If I'm going to woodwork, I want to do it right so it functions and it works. And you'll see it. Everything, surprisingly enough, is dead square. Unbelievable. Everything's level and dead square in the cabinet. Woohoo! Anyhow, on with the video unboxing and cabinet making. Wild Bill from Jeep Central, Overland Central, out, Canada. But in all honesty, I did enjoy the woodworking. And I enjoyed it because it turned out. It doesn't look like the Leaning Tower of Pisa when you sit back and look at it, everything is square. Usually when things work out, it's good. And woodworking is a necessary evil, it's just me, when you're overlanding. Because, I mean, the inside in it, it looks okay. It's passable. So, yeah. Woodworking, the necessary evil of overlanding. That's a Wild Bill quote. Woodworking is a necessary evil. I mean, you could have made it out of everything I've made out of wood, out of something else, but if it gets right down to it, I like wood for the applications that I've used, drawers and cabinets, obviously. So, yeah, and it all turned out really good. I can hardly wait to use this coming late spring, early summer, late spring, when I head off on my adventure. So, anyhow, yeah. On with the vid. As I said before, I added a little something to the unboxing of the Grisel 1000-watt power station, which I added to the Evergear, and then the thought pattern as to where I'm going to put this and how I came to the conclusion of the cabinet. It's pretty obvious because the space is there, and it's a solo overlander right now. I sleep beside all this stuff, and it's comfortable as all get out. But anyway, yeah, all the thought process that went into that and what I've experienced on the road camping up north of Superior, northern Quebec, Trans-Taiga, up to Tuktoyaktuk, the Dempster Highway, and Alaska, northern BC, all of that. This is kind of the result. Power that I need and this and that. So anyhow, Wild Bill over and out from Jeep Overland Central. Hopefully you will be entertained somewhat by the vid and possibly informed a little bit. But anyhow, that's it. Like and subscribe if you care. Oh, good day everybody. I've got a surprise today. It's not a surprise to me, but anyway, it's just came, and it's going to be a bit of a game changer. So I'm going to do an unboxing. People seem to like unboxing, so what we're going to do is, I have not, this is it. First time you're seeing it. That's a Gressel portable power station. And it's 1,000 watts. And the reason I got another one is because I have figured out I could use it. And you know, and yeah, it's 1,000 watt. It's light and small. It's just like the other one I have. And the reason you may or may not ask is, why wouldn't you just get a 2,000 watt station? Well, because there's the instructions and the charging cables. Now, let me get this out first. Charging cables and everything are right here. And yeah, mini fridge and all the rest of it. But it's a 1,000. So the reason that I have two, now I've got 2,000, and this guy will be floating around the 500, so I'll have 2,500 watts. And the reason I separate is because if I buy one, it's big and it'll only fit in this one. You can configure it. You can, you know, put them on top of one another a little bit or side by side. I just like having the, and if you want 2,000 watts, you can just you can daisy chain them together. You can go from output to input, and that's your input. So you've got they're daisy chained together. You got 2,000 watts. And you can run it that way, charge it that way, or vice versa. You know, this one, the output, this one, the input, it just depends. So I'm very, very happy about that. You could stack them like that, put a little spacer in between, stack them like that, or put them side by side, or you could put one on one side of the Jeep and one on the other and run a wire across, you know, run one of the power wires across. So here they are daisy chained together, and there's 151 volts coming in from the AC household into the DC of this one, because it's fully charged, of the Evergear. And I have the DC on with the cable going into the DC input down here. And there's 100 watts going in, and it's slowly charging up. So it's charging. So basically I have them daisy chained together and they're working together. I'm not going to put them over here though. I'm going to yeah, I'm going to put them behind the refrigerator, because I'm here, let me show you. I'm going to put them back here. See, I got all this room here. I'm going to put them back here. I might actually build a little cabinet here or something. I'm not sure. Yeah, I might build a little cabinet right here and put them here. Yeah, it's charging up. So there's 150 on the Evergear. There's 151 watts coming in, 113 coming out the DC, and then it's 100 going in to the Crystal. So yeah, you can daisy chain them together, perfect. And then I think this spot right here, I'm not gonna put these ones. I can remount the 500 back on here and slide the other 500 there and put the water back here. So I'll have two 500. So I will have 2,000. I'll have 2,000 watts on board. Wow, that's fantastic. But there, you can see, I don't know if you can read that, but there's 151 going in here. DC's on, and there's 113 coming out. And there's 100 watts coming in, and it was at 56, it's up to 60 already. So it's charging, and nothing's warm, no fans are turning on. No, this is perfect. This is perfect. I'm going to utilize the space in behind the fridge. That's fantastic. So anyway, it's like I'm in a submarine. So that's how that's going to work, which is kind of cool. Yeah. I'm going to build something here for those guys to sit in. This is already set up for the 500s. So I'll have lots of backup power if it's ever rainy for a few days or something. I can get the jackeries going and hook them up in tandem. Like hook them up, daisy chain them together. So perfect. Anyway, Wild Bill from inside the Jeep. Over and out. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a cabinet on this plank that'll hold these two behind my fridge, because I'm sleeping here. Lots of room here. So I'm going to make a little shelf, 2 shelves, the back on it, to hold these in place and have a place. Of course, there's going to be a space between them so they can breathe. There's going to be room in there so they can breathe. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And I'll put the 2 500s here on this shelf and the water here. So there you go. And the daisy chaining thing is working. So it's charging up. It's at 65 watts now with 151 going in to this one, 114 coming out, and 100 going back in there. So it's working. It's charging this one up through the daisy chaining thing, and that connector that's going in, it's barely even warm. So yeah, so I got to get working on the dimensions of this cabinet. Some miniature cabinet, exactly how I'm gonna, work that. But anyway, that's what I'm doing. I'm putting them over here. And as far as the solar panel, the wires come out on this side of the solar panel, but that solar panel can be spun. I can undo the bolts and spin it and have the wires coming in this way, since all the electrical stuff except for the jackeries over here. I mean, it doesn't matter. I could run the wires over here. It doesn't really matter. Inside, around to the back to run this. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna probably make it as wide as this. Make it come out or close to it, and then yeah. Wow, that's awesome. Anyway, Wild Bill out. So on this beautiful day today, I'm working on, this is where I'm going to put my power stations. The 2000 watters right here. So I'm making cabinets to go around, and they're going to be sitting 4 inches, because there's the memory foam. It's 4 inches, so it's going to be 4 inches up off that, right in that spot where it's sitting. But it's going to be in a cabinet. The cabinet's going to be screwed down to here. So I'm just working on that right now. I got the measurements, what I need. This was pretty close. I wanted this to be just a wee bit bigger, but this one piece that was already cut is pretty close. But I'm going to do them all 15 by 10 and 23 by 10, and then the back. And then I've got an idea of how I'm going to keep everything so it doesn't fall out. But one step at a time. So I'll be back. And we have everything ready to cut. I've got it marked out, and I need 3 this size. And there's all the pieces cut. Not all of them. I think I have the back to do, but I'm not going to do that till I get some stuff straightened out. But I got to clean these up. Back in a minute. Okay, got everything. Yeah, anyway, it's a nice day. Nice day to do this. Get out, get this cut. I just have to get the palm sander out and kind of equalize things. Back in a minute. Just doing a bit of cleaning up the edges and squaring them up with the old Craftsman shake and baker here. That's an old one. I've had that for years. I used to use it to trim up metal, but it works good on this. Got everything all kind of squared up, and at least close enough anyhow. Close enough for woodworking, which is, you know, it's not, woodworking isn't precise. It's get her in the ballpark and ram those vices home with some glue on her. She'll hold. That's kind of how that goes. Anyway, back in a minute. Just smoothing the edges. There's one I've sanded down, and this is one I'm about to sand. I squared it off with, you can't see it, that machine down there that I showed earlier, and then I just palmed with a palm sander. I'm just making the edges nice. You know, with woodworking, everything's got to be just, you know, yeah, anyway, back in a minute. Just doing some finishing up with the palm sander. You get the idea. And there's all the pieces for my power generating station cabinet. Not all of them, I gotta still make the back, but I'm gonna get it all together and then measure out for the back. Back in a minute. There, I got the back done, cut out and all. dimensionally right and rounded the edges off and palm sanded. So it's basically ready to go together. The cabinets to hold my batteries, solar batteries. Back in a minute. So I got the cabinet made. As you saw in the last part of this video, I got it all cut out, sanded. Well, I managed to get 2 coats of varnish on it, screwed together and glued, and so that's it. Back in a minute. And that's what it looks like installed. And I cut holes in the back for wires to come through, and I've got holes drilled straight across where I'm going to put a stainless steel bar, and I'll kind of show a little bit of how I manufactured that. But this will be screwed down onto here. I'll show you from another angle. And that's what it looks like from that angle. Like I said, I've got holes drilled in the back. One here. If I move that over, you might, no, I don't think you'll be able to see it. Anyway, that's how it's going to sit and be screwed to this. So that's how I'm going to have my power station. And the cable from the solar panel is going to come in this way and plug in here, and then I can daisy chain them. And like I said, I'll show you how I'm going to make sure these don't fall out when I'm going down the road. I'm not sure if I'm going to put another coat of clear on that cabinet or not. I don't know. Anyway, I'll be back. And I'm going to use this is a stainless steel rod, 1/4 inch. And when I hit the camera, it's going to go through the holes I've drilled. And it's going to be a pin on the end. And I'll show you how I'm going to weld a little T-bar on the end here, and then bevel the one end, drill a hole in it, and run a pin through, probably this size, pin like this, either this size or the next size up, I'm not sure which, probably this one. It's the smallest one in the kit. I'll just drill it, put that through, and it'll stop it from moving. And then how I'm going to stop them from actually walking around inside the cabinet is I'm just going to cut some rubber bungs out of rubber round stock or square, probably round stock that I have, with an interference fit, and I'll just wedge them in there, and that'll keep pressure on it enough to hold it so it won't walk around inside. They won't walk around inside the cabinet. But if you ever did get on a crazy angle or anything, and it did happen to overpower that interference fit, which is highly unlikely, it's not going to fall right out because those bars will be there holding it. So that's what I'm doing. I'll be back. I'm going to cut this stainless and get it set up to go. Back in a minute. Okay, I've got the stainless ready to weld. I have my 2 pieces cut. And the really important thing with aluminum and stainless is clean, so you use this Scotch-Brite to clean it. Make sure it's real clean, all the pieces. Back in a minute. Well, that's the idea there. And it's going to go through that hole. I'll show you when I get all done. I'm going to be welding the piece here right now. There it is. Right there. Back in a minute. Now I gotta go over here to the mill and drill a hole in the end for that clip. Gotta drill a hole in the end for the clip, which means I gotta change that drill bit to another one. This is stainless. Stainless can be a little bit tricky to drill, but we'll get it. Back in a sec. And there's the pin. I'm drilling the hole in the end for the pin. There it is, and stainless seems to like high speed, so I had the speed turned up. And I should have a pin here somewhere. I decided to go with the smaller pin. There's a burr there. I got to knock that burr off, but whoops. There. That's clipped in. And that's going to go through. That's going to go through these holes here. I've got to just enlarge them a little bit. Just got to take a drill and run it through. And then that'll go through. That'll go through there like that with the pin, and it'll stop them from coming. I'll be back in a minute. And that's it with the clips in. It's a nice interference slide fit. Slide fit. And you see the holes in the back. Right here, my finger's flapping. That's where the wire will come through, and there's one there on the second shelf. And I'll show you what it's like in there with the the batteries. Back in a minute. And there it is. With the batteries installed, the bar across, so things can't just fall out. And just pull the pins on the end, and everything will come out easy. And there it is from this angle. So all I have to do now is just screw it down from the bottom onto this here. And like I said, make a couple of rubber pucks that are an interference fit, and just push them in there, and it'll stop them from walking around. But that's all this project pretty much done. Like I said, I just have to screw this to here. That's it. Then my power station is there. Fridge is there. I have to spin my solar panel around because the solar panel wires are coming in this way, and I'd just make more sense to just turn it, unscrew it, turn it around, have the wires come in this way through the holes in the back, and then I can power my fridge up, have the plugs come in from the back and out. So yeah, it's a nice little neat little project, and it's all done. So, if you like this, little project and all these projects, like and subscribe if you care to, and I'm going to keep on, making these. It's all my kind of experience. Overlanding. Yeah, that's my experience of overlanding, and kind of you know, everything I learn when I go out. I learn things and I come back and I modify things to work. And I'm so happy now to have all this power I have. You know, the two 1000s, again, daisy chain them together, there you got 2000. And my two 500s, so I've got 3000 watts, as I said before. So, yeah, if you like the overlanding stuff and just ideas I have that I'm putting into use for my trips, the things I've learned and what I'm doing, like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Wild Bill from Jeep Central, out.